Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Melody. I love all things makeup, but especially eyeshadows. You know, that's a weakness in my heart that I'm probably gonna always struggle with. So I placed an order from Dede'S Signature and I ordered the new Fearless Holiday Palette. I'm gonna make sure to put some swatches up for you guys. But basically, this is the holiday palette that Dede'S Signature came out with. I believe this is the largest size that they have ever come out with, actually. So this is a first for them. And upon opening it, this is my first time opening it up with you guys, but it does come protected with these little, I think it's kind of like a styrofoam material. It's pressed over top of the shimmer shades, so they come very protected. And I do believe that this is their first magnetic palette as well. So it consists of 5 columns or 4 rows, and it is set up so that if you look at it horizontally, every color story is basically an eye look that you could do. So if you wanted to crack open into this palette, it's going to be kind of a no-brainer because you could easily just go for each row as a color story on the eye, or you could group them into 4, whichever way you want to do it. I'm sure it's going to create a very beautiful look. It looks so beautiful that I almost don't even want to touch it, but of course we have to touch it. So like I said, I'm going to make sure to put some swatches up for you. If you are seeing a thicker, hairier arm, it's possible that I use my husband as the swatch model. So a little bit more about this palette. It contains 13 of their 2024 most loved matte formula and 7 of their signature chrome metallic shimmers. It was curated specifically with the holidays in mind, so you are going to be able to see in the palette itself that some of the shades are a little bit more cool leaning and the other portion is a little bit more warm. All of these colors are going to complement each other beautifully, so even if you go far across the palette, you're still going to end up with a beautiful look. And just looking at the palette, I feel like the combinations are kind of endless. I'm torn. I don't know if I should go for an entire row and make a look that way, or if I should kind of hop around the palette. I think the orange is calling me, so I think we're going to use the orange today, and it's either going to be either a teal, that very pretty indigo, or the green. So as always, I'm going to go ahead and prep my skin off camera, and I will be right back. Alright, my lids are prepped. I have made sure to moisturize my skin, and I'm going to go in. I mentioned to you guys that the orange was calling me, so we're actually going to do an orange and kind of like an indigo look today. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to tap into that orange color first. And from the pictures I've seen online, it does seem that this palette is very pigmented. And it's friendly for all different skin tones. So no matter how light or deep you are, it should look great on you. Definitely a little bit goes a long way here. But I'm just going to apply that to kind of like the crease and upwards. This is such a pretty, like a true pumpkin color, and actually I think it's called Pumpkin Patch, which is actually a very good name for it. The shimmers in here, I was swatching them a little bit so that I could do that swatch insert for you guys, and oh my goodness, they are so beautiful. They're like shimmery, sparkly, such a beautiful like illuminated shine to them. Also, I have changed my background today. I decided that white was washing me out, and I really want to do a color analysis on myself to figure out what colors suit me best, but I think the white background wasn't doing me any favors, so we're going to try it for a little bit with a dark one. See how I feel. Okay, so I'm a little bit nervous for this combo that I'm choosing, because if I'm not wrong, I think on the color wheel, orange and blue might be opposites, but we'll see how it goes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. It's like a color between purple and blue, so I'm going to say it's indigo. And I'm going to apply it just on the outer corner. I'm going to tap it in first. And of course, it's beautiful. I've never tried this brand before, but wow, if you guys get a chance, it's amazing. So far, the colors are blending out really well. No patchiness. Mind you, I've only tried 2 colors. But no patchiness so far. I do think that if you want the most impact with the shimmer, you're probably going to want to use some sort of glitter glue. And these do seem to be pretty buildable. I don't know why lately it seems like I have also been doing a lot of blue looks, which isn't usually my go-to, but I'm such a sucker for the right shade of blue. So I know Okay, so my eye color is brown, of course. And supposedly blue shadow complements brown the most, so it makes it pop. But for the longest time, I felt like I couldn't find the right shade of blue, and I think maybe that's why I'm experimenting so much with blue lately, to see if I can actually find the right shade that complements. And there's certain tones of blue that I always gravitate towards if I see it. Like a baby blue I love. Starting to venture into teals a little bit more. But just it has to be the right shade of blue, and this kind of purple blue was calling me, so I decided to do it today. Alright, so far so good. I'm actually going to go back with a little bit of orange, and I'm going to put it on the inner corner of my eye, just before the tear duct, so I can set a little bit of color before the shimmer that I'm going to put on there. And I'm going to take a flat pencil brush. I'm going to go back into that indigo color. It doesn't seem to have a lot of fallout either, which I like, just because it creates less mess under the eye if you have already done your look. But I'm just taking that flat pencil brush and I'm going to pack the color on, because I did blow out a bit when I was using my blending brush. And you know what, I'm actually going to take more of that orange and just pack it on the other half of the lid. And I'm going to leave the center a little bit bare. I'll just drag in whatever extra I have inwards. But I'm going to focus most of the color on the outer, or I guess the inner part of the lid. And I'm taking a clean blending brush, and I'm just going to buff out the edges a little bit of the blue to soften it a bit there with the transition. Okay, now instead of taking a glitter glue, I'm going to use it's the Pat McGrath Intensifies Artistry Wand. So it's like a glitter glue, but you don't have to get messy with it because it comes in a pencil. And I'm just going to put it right where I want the shimmer to be the brightest on both sides. And I'm going to take that orange. It's so pretty. I hope I can catch it when I do the swatches, but it's like an orange to gold to somewhat of a lime green shift. And I'm going to take and apply that right to the center of the lid. Holy moly. That's so bright. And that's probably the formula as well as the wand that we use. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, and this is amazing too, because I know I used that glitter glue thing, but there's actually no fallout either. Like, there's nothing. So from the shift that this color has, I know it's going to complement really well if you go with the blues or the greens in here. Or I guess, sorry, the teals, because of that slight lime shift that it has. I'm going to take a small blending brush and I'm going to go back into that kind of like a purple blue, indigo I guess we called it. And I'm just applying a little bit more of it on the outer corner so it's more visible, as well as bringing the blue up a little bit so it's more visible. I'm going to do the same with that orange as well, just in the front of the eye here. But I want it to be a bit softer than how we had applied it to the inner corner of the lid. So I'm just using very light hand. And I'm going to go into this, it's like a peach leaning white called Rose Phase, and I'm just gonna put some along the outside here towards the brow bone just to brighten up a tiny bit. Alright, so this is it for the eye look for now. I will go and do the foundation and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm almost done my face. I just came back to finish the underneath the eye part, so I'll do that with you guys. I'm gonna just take a very dense pencil brush. Okay, and I'm actually going to add a third color. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry, I just decided this now. But what I'm going to do is, there's two shades of brown here. I'm going to go into the lighter one and I'm going to tap in gently, but I'm going to tap onto the back of my hand as well to take off any excess. So I just want to go in with a very fair or light hand underneath the eye here. And this might be a bad choice, but we'll see, I guess. And I'm going to concentrate mostly on the outer corner of the lower lash line, but I'm going to bring that to the front as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use a different sparkle on the bottom lash line here. I'm going to use the one that has a green to brown shift, which is why I put the brown. But I didn't want the lower lash line to overpower what we did on the lids, which is why I opted for this brown color instead. And because I'm going to do that sparkly, which is going to be that one probably, I'm actually going to put a green in the waterline as well, just so it pops more. I'm going to do that light green. And I'm just going to put it all over the waterline. And this was just a ColourPop BFF cream eyeliners in the shade Aglow. But any green is going to do. Okay, now I'm going to take my silicone applicator and I'm going to pick up that shade that has a brown to green shift. I don't know if the camera catches it, but it does have a very nice brown to green shift. And because the area is small is why I'm using the silicone applicator, so I can concentrate exactly where I want it. So I'm going to go towards the center here, but all over the lower lash line. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. And because we did place that green liner, it's going to kind of pick up more of the green and complement that when we turn and the light catches. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a car outside of where I'm filming and it's pretty loud, so I'm gonna wait until it leaves. Alright, now that the spaceship has left, all I did was I dragged that sparkle down a little bit, and because of that green to brown shift, on the right angle it looks like it has a blue shift, so it actually ties really well to that blue indigo color that we used before. I was just taking one of the small blending brushes and patting whatever blue I had inwards at an angle towards the center. And I did also add this, I don't know what to call this, it's not silver, it's not gold, maybe like a light gold, kind of champagne sparkle, which I think if you put this, if you're doing like a halo eye and you put this color over top of any of the shimmers, it's going to give it an extra sparkle and just like extra light illumination, which is going to look very beautiful. But this is pretty much it for the eyes. I'm going to go and actually finish the rest of the face and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I had a lot of fun with this palette. I mean, I don't know what more you could want from it. The color story is absolutely beautiful. The shimmers are so incredible. It's very pigmented. I always feel like there's room for improvement with everything in life. So, I mean, pros, we have everything amazing. Cons, I don't really know that there are any cons. If you're looking for really, really light shades, the only one that you are getting is this kind of cream, bone, yellow, peachy leaning color. Other than that, you could technically, you know, blend out the shadows so that they are a little bit more blown out and not as concentrated. There are a few that I think you could probably mix in. So if you wanted to lighten it up a bit, let's say you could do the purple with the cream and that's going to make it lighter. It would probably change the tone of it a little bit, but if you're looking at, you know, it doesn't have that many light colors as a con. If you're super fair skin tone, then you might want to consider that if you're thinking about getting this palette. Otherwise though, that's just for the sake of saying a con, because this is absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. I would repurchase this again 100%. I can't wait to see what other palettes Dede'S Signature comes out with, because if this was their first, wow, I can't even imagine what they're going to be coming out with later on. And when I say the first, it's not their first palette, just like the first big multi-pan palette with magnetic shades in it. These two browns do look very similar. I'm just going to show them here for you side by side. One is a little bit more of a toasted caramel color and the other one is more leaning towards the darker, not quite black, but definitely a darker mocha color, if that makes sense. Again, this is a beautiful palette. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. The shimmer performance is there. The mattes blend beautifully. I did only use 4 mattes, and they blended out very seamlessly. There was no patchiness whatsoever. You could build them up to get the amount of pigment that you want. And yeah, I mean, if you guys get a chance, I think it might have been sold out now, but you know, they're probably going to do a restock. So if you get a chance and you are curious about it, I don't think you're going to regret it. It's really beautiful, and I can't wait to see what other looks you guys as well as I come up with, because it's very inspiring. I do like that it has a very wide range of colors, so it's very versatile. You could stick to the row, or you could just, you know, simplify things and do, let's say, 3 colors. And I do appreciate that they put very deep colors in here, like the green, the teal, the dark blue, and the purple, just so it could give your look a bit more depth. But guys, it's amazing. I loved it, and I really look forward to seeing what else Dede'S Signature comes out with. I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope this inspires someone out there to play with other colors that you don't normally choose. As always, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like this. Leave a comment, questions. I'll meet you guys down below for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.